Good morning, everybody. It's Miss Kathy. I have so much to tell you about again because I just think this is such a wonderful, wonderful world that God created for us to live in. And it's full of wonders. There was a man called Mr. Ripley, and he went around the world looking and putting in a book, putting in museums, things that he just blew his mind, things that he would see and find, people that he would talk to. There was a lot of things, and there's still a museum. There's one in Atlantic City. There's a couple others around the world. He's no longer with us, but all his wonders are. And they really are God's wonders, right, that he discovered. And maybe your parents can go online and find some that were fun to like just blow your mind. Like, really? There's people that do that or act like that or things like that. So, but we have a world of wonder in the Bible. In the Bible, it talks about Jesus healing blind people, healing people who are deaf, healing people who can't walk. He turned water into wine at a wedding. He fed 5,000 people with 2 loaves of bread and 3 fish. It's amazing. But it's believe it or not. We can believe it, or we could say, nah, that didn't happen. And we can argue with other people about it. But what I want you to know is that our relationship with God is our relationship. We don't have to argue with other people. They have their relationship with God, and maybe they don't want to even believe that there is a God. Well, that's God's is going to take care of that, right? We want to shine bright for God. If we believe that God answers our prayers, if we believe that He wants us to shine bright, if we believe, just believe. We don't have to have proof of it. We don't have to have a museum full of it. We have to, in our hearts, say, I'm going to believe. It's just like there's another word. We can choose can or can't. All right? A lot of times we choose can't. I can't. And it's another word for I don't want to. But if we try, if we challenge ourselves, and we like to see people challenge themselves, right? On the Ninja Warriors. I know that my grandsons love watching that. We love to see people try to do things that seem impossible. God wants us to do things that seem impossible. Shining bright a lot of times seems impossible, but we can do it. We can do it because we can go to God and get His power to do it. I know I've said that a lot, and I talk about that a lot, but every once in a while something comes to mind, and I had a friend who said, I hate someone telling me I should do this and I should do that. I'm just going to do the things I want to do. All well and good. If that's how they want to live. You can't make somebody do something, but you can make yourself grow and do things and believe certain things. And I would love those things to be what's in the Bible that you believe. That you believe that God is love. You believe that He is all around you. You believe that you don't have to be afraid because God is all around you. You believe you don't have to worry. Remember we talked last week about surrendering to God. And that's not a bad thing. Believing in God, believing in His shoulds. Because you know what? God has made things to follow a certain order. Remember, He created our world. What if God said, you know what? I'm tired of this should. The sun should rise in the morning. I don't think I want to do that anymore. And the sun should set at evening, and it should get dark. I don't want want to do that anymore. I don't want to have people shine bright for each other anymore. If we do it, look at it the other way. Instead of that should being something that we have to do, like when mom tells us there's something we have to do. I don't want us looking at it that way. I don't want to myself look at it that way. And when I don't look at it that way, I learn so many cool things. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to look at things as, I don't want to do that. I don't want somebody telling me what to do. Don't think of it as that. Think of it as like, if I do that, what will happen? Start making it be your choice. Instead of your choice being, I don't want to. I don't want to believe that other people can tell me what to do. Think about, what if I do that? What would happen? A lot of times you find, and I find it's most times, shining bright is the thing you should do. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You hurt people. You don't make the world a better place. Maybe you don't think that shoulding, to should, because I have to, is a good thing. God made up the 10 commandments. He gave them to us, the 10 commandments. And they were things that we should. Thou shalt, or thou shalt not. And that's the word should, is another way of saying should. And if we look at those 10 commandments, they aren't bad for us. They don't make us so we can't do other things. They make the day start. They make our hearts beat. They make our eyes see. They make us realize, when I surrender to God, I feel good. God's control, God's idea of control that he's trying to teach us, because we're in his image. We learn how to control and keep, like we talked one time about, what if my arm didn't have any control, if I couldn't control it? And well, that wasn't very good, right? My arm would do whatever. We want to be in control. And if we surrender to God the control, he tells us, this is better for you if you do it like this. This is better for you. Being afraid isn't good for you. Worrying isn't good for you. Wanting to not do the things I tell you isn't good for you. I love you. I want you to make choices. And I would like you to make intelligent choices. So don't just right away say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, because I can't, because I don't want to. I want you to try it. I want you to think about what would happen if you're nice to your brother. What would happen if when mom says time for bed, you went to bed? What would happen? Life would flow easier. You know you have to go to bed. You're not like being told to do something that's not like what you should do, right? So think of that this week and just say, yes, I can. Yes, I believe. All right? And not because I'm telling you you should. I'm telling you because God says, this is what's good for you. What I created. I know how things are supposed to work. And go ahead, you can try every once in a while, but realize, if you go to me, I will tell you the best way. The best way. And then it's still a challenge. He's not taking our freedom away. We are learning how to do things differently and how to believe things can be different. It's our freedom comes from believing God is in control. God is in control. So I hope that you can stop fighting each other. You know, and it's not always that big a deal, the fight. But every little thing that you hold on to just because you're not going to make me do this is another little thing keeping you from shining bright for yourself. And remember how wonderful shining bright feels. All right? And that's the feeling we want to get. Feeling and shining bright together. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Believe it or not, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can shine bright in the hardest of times. And the hardness of times goes away. You see it differently. Shine bright, my friends, because the feeling you get, the feeling you give, believe it or not, changes the world. I love you. Bye. See you soon.